Hi guys. Oh my goodness, poor Sarah Pochin. So she was of course a Conservative who became a member of Reform UK and now is one of their MPs. Now Reform, it seems, are attempting to appeal beyond their right-wing base with policies that extend beyond that. Now unfortunately in this case with Sarah, she either wasn't informed about the policy or she was, but didn't understand it. And this was on full display when she spoke to Julia Hartley-Brewer on Talk TV. Have a listen.
There are millions of hardworking families, Sarah, who can't afford to have a third child. They can't even afford to have a second child. Many couples can't afford to have a first child because they're paying taxes to pay for people who are not paying for their own kids.
Julia, I could not agree with you more.
You don't even understand the policy you support.
No, our policy is about supporting hard-working people.
How does paying more money to people who've got more than 2 children who are on benefits help hard-working families?
This policy, in my understanding of this policy, is that we
don't understand it, Sarah.
No, Julia, is that we will be paying this child benefit in the way that I always think of child benefit to people who are out to work.
It's not child benefit. It's a cap on all the benefits you can have once you have got more than 2 children. It's not child benefit. I mean this very respectfully. If you're going to be an elected MP and you're going to have a chance to vote on these things and be part of policy, you and your stablemates and every MP in Parliament really need to know what you're talking about.
Sarah found the whole thing quite funny. Didn't you see that? Okay. So we're talking about 2 separate... Okay, once again, I have to ask this question. Is it that Sarah doesn't understand because it wasn't explained to her correctly? Or is it was explained to her, but she's too thick to understand? Because there are 2 different things here. There is child benefit, which is a universal benefit. And then there is the 2-child benefit cap, which is related to universal credit. Now, for people like Julia Hartley-Brewer, on the right, who hate people on benefits, she hates the idea that people on benefits would receive any extra support when it comes to children. But this is not about having children. This is about people who already have children. The far right hate the idea of any sort of support for people on benefits. And remember, what Julia Hartley-Brewer here says isn't completely correct as well, because when it comes to universal credit, 40% of people on universal credit are working. So it's not just about people in the eyes of the far right, which are just sitting around smoking cigarettes and watching TV all day. It's 40% are working. But there's a bigger problem here. Something that Sarah Pochin found quite funny. The fact that an MP is supporting a policy that she clearly doesn't understand. She's talking about, we're supporting working families because it's child benefit. But it's not child benefit. It's a different system. It's a different policy. I think this is, once again, a problem with Reform, where policies are decided not by the party, not by consensus, but by Nigel Farage, and maybe Richard Tice as well, but principally Nigel Farage. So the leader decides, okay, we're going to adopt this policy. Why? Well, because it seems to be popular at the moment. Okay? And everyone has to go along with that, even if you don't understand it and even if you disagree with it. Because it's a dictatorship. It's a cult of personality in Reform UK. And this is going to create problems for them in the future. Because at least at the moment, with 5 MPs, Farage is able to herd them in the right direction. The right direction for him at least. But imagine a situation where he has 100 or even 200 MPs. And they all have to agree with the same policy. And it's a policy that's handed down, not, once again, decided by consensus. Because at least in the Conservative Party and in the Labour Party, generally, people will agree with principles. They may not all agree with all of the policies, but they have been, whipped or whatever to support policies, even if they personally disagree with them. Because they understand, look, I have to support this policy. I have to understand the policy and support the policy because it's in the interest of the party. But I think in Reform UK, we just have idiots being brought on board, don't understand how policies work, don't understand the policies themselves, and are just told, okay, support it. But the problem with that, as soon as you ask some questions, it all falls apart. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.